Introduction to ACT Science. Welcome to the ACT Science test, where you'll see complicated graphs, dry text, and arguing scientists. The big secret to the science test is this. It's a glorified reading test. There's very little actual science knowledge you'll need to know to succeed on this section. We'll get to that in the next lesson. For now, here are the basics. The test is 35 minutes long, consisting of 40 questions split over 7 passages. The passages can be sorted into 3 different categories. Research summary, which asks you to evaluate the design, data, and conclusion of an experiment. There will be 3 research summary passages on the test. Data representation, which asks you to interpret charts, tables, graphs, and diagrams. There will be 3 data representation passages on the test. And finally, conflicting viewpoints will present 2 or more theories on a scientific topic. There will only be 1 conflicting viewpoint passage on the test. Always answer the easy and medium questions first. In general, the questions in each passage will increase in difficulty as the questions go on. Skip any questions you can't answer immediately. Then come back to the problems you've skipped at the end. Make sure to guess on all the remaining questions. Remember, there's no penalty for incorrect answers on the ACT. Don't skip around passages. Answer every problem in a passage, even if this means guessing, before you move to the next one. Skipping around from passage to passage can be detrimental to your score, as all the experiments will start to blend together. It's important to focus on one at a time without skipping back and forth between all 7. Don't try and memorize anything in the passage. Remember, the passage is not going away. It will always be there for you. This isn't a memory test. Don't spend valuable time trying to remember specific values and results in every experiment. Look for patterns. Identify the purpose, method, and results. These are the 3 most important parts of every question. Ask yourself, what are the scientists trying to find or prove? What method are they using to try and prove their theory? And what were the results of the experiment? Were they right or were they wrong? What did the experiment show about their theory? We'll cover all 3 of these in more detail. Let the questions guide you through the passage. This is an important note. Just like the reading test, some questions will tell you exactly where to look for the answer. For example, in Figure 1, in the 2nd paragraph, and in the 3rd experiment. When you see that, head directly to the part of the passage that the question references. Try and match words and numbers. If you see them in the question, look for them in the passage, and you should find all the context you need to answer the question correctly. Let's look at an example. According to Figure 1, Method 2 has an output of 0.5 kilograms when D is closest to. This question tells you exactly where to look in the passage. When you see, according to Figure 1, you should refer to it immediately. Don't waste time looking through the rest of the passage when you have already been told where to look. Use the answer choices to determine what you're looking for. If you're confused about what a question is asking you to find, look at the answers for a hint. Here's an example. In Method 1, compared to Method 3, the input was A, always greater, B, always smaller, C, greater at large distances and less at small distances, D, less at large distances and greater at small distances. You can tell from the answer choices that the question is asking about the relation of the sizes of the input. You don't need a calculator on the science test. Much like the reading test, all the answers are found in the context of the passage and figures. This means everything you'll need to succeed on the science test is in the test. Remember, this is a glorified reading test. You won't be asked about any prior science knowledge. We'll get into the basics in the next lesson, but don't stay up the night before going over physics equations, the table of elements, or basic biology. While these topics may be covered, they'll be covered only in the context of the passages and experiments you are given. Mark up your passage. Underline, circle, and highlight. Use your annotations to help you when you return to the passage and figures to answer the questions.